Dive into the world of the INTP, the world's quietest personality type. This acronym stands for Introverted Intuitive Thinking and Perceiving. These individuals are the epitome of quiet intellect. They're the kind of people who revel in solitude, often found lost in a world of thoughts. Their minds are constantly buzzing, solving puzzles and dissecting complex ideas. They're not antisocial, but rather selectively social, preferring the company of their own minds over a bustling crowd. Think of them as the silent strategists of the world. The INTPs have a mind that's a well-oiled machine. They're the human equivalent of a high-powered computer, always processing, analyzing, and solving. These deep thinkers navigate the world through a lens of logic and practicality, sidestepping emotional chatter for the clarity of cold facts. Imagine a chess grandmaster, always strategizing, predicting, and calculating. It's not that they're cold-hearted, quite the contrary. They simply prefer to understand the world in the most practical and logical way possible. Their minds are like calculators, always looking for logical solutions. INTPs like to keep their cards close to their chest. They're like an intriguing puzzle box, full of intricate mechanisms and hidden compartments. They value their privacy, often preferring the company of their own thoughts to social gatherings. Now don't get it twisted, they're not antisocial, they simply find emotional and social interactions mentally draining. They'd rather dive deep into their own worlds, exploring the vast landscape of their minds. Picture a hermit, but instead of living in a cave, they dwell within the fortress of their intellect. They're the masters of playing it cool. Guiding principles of an INTP. Truth and logic serve as the guiding torch for an INTP. They are the model truth seekers, always driven by a longing to comprehend the hows and whys of existence. They can be compared to a detective, forever in search of solutions. However, be warned, their patience for illogical actions is limited. Senseless decisions? They're the foremost to challenge them, never hesitating to speak their mind. They're the brave souls who'd confront the teacher in school and likely still maintain this trait. Rules are made to be broken, or so the INTP thinks. These personality types aren't into conforming for the sake of it. They're the ones who question the status quo, asking why, how, until they understand the logic behind it. If they don't see the sense in a rule, they won't hesitate to challenge it. This might paint them as uncooperative or even rebellious, but they're just seeking clarity. They're not trying to stir up chaos, they're just not fans of blindly following orders. They're the rebels with a cause, a logical cause, of course. Love and emotions are a complex puzzle for the INTP. Now envisage a Rubik's Cube, but where each minuscule square a distinct feeling. This constitutes the emotional terrain for our INTP comrades. In relationships, they might appear as aloof as a solitary wolf howling at the moon, but don't be deceived. They care profoundly, in their own distinctive logic-driven manner. Their affections might not be wrapped in romantic gestures or poetic declarations. Instead, they express their love through practical thinking and logical solutions. Bear in mind, it's not that they're devoid of emotions, they just communicate a different language of love. So, in conclusion, they love you, they just struggle with expressing it. INTPs, the lone wolves of the work world. They're those unique individuals who'd rather delve into a complex problem solo than get lost in the cacophony of a group brainstorming session. With their intensely analytical minds, they find solace in solitude, navigating the labyrinth of their thoughts without the distraction of constant social interaction. Picture them as the marathon runners of the intellectual world, preferring the rhythm of their own pace over the unpredictable ebb and flow of a relay. They're the ones you'll find working late at night when everyone else has gone home. To sum it up, INTPs are the quiet, analytical, and rebellious thinkers of the world. The quiet thinkers. They are the ones who prefer the company of their thoughts over a crowd, diving deep into the realms of introspection. They are constantly at work, dissecting concepts, and seeking practical solutions, making them the Sherlock Holmes of the personality types. Despite their reserved and private nature, they can be intriguingly mysterious, like a novel that reveals itself one page at a time. They are on an incessant quest for understanding the hows and whys of the world, not shying away from questioning the status quo. Their rebellious streak manifests as rule breakers, often appearing uncooperative when they question authority or when rules don't make logical sense to them. In love, they may come across as indifferent lovers, not because they don't care, but because they express their affection through logic and practicality, a language not everyone understands. As solo workers, they thrive in their personal spaces, valuing their solitude as a means to recharge and gather their thoughts. So, in a world that can't stop talking, the INTPs prefer to let their thoughts do the talking.